Hello and welcome to today's movie recap. Our story today starts in prison. We see a young lady in her cell waiting for the guards to leave, and she retrieves a package which she reveals to be a phone. She is recording a message for someone. We flash back to the story she's recording in her phone. We see that the lady is acting as a lookout, as someone is being robbed behind her. Turns out her boyfriend is the robber. After successfully robbing their mark, they leave hurriedly with their loot and head to a nearby joint where the guy excuses himself a little bit, and the lady seems to be flirting with one of the customers in the local joint. She then approaches his table, and they chat and flirt late into the night. The boyfriend comes, watches from a distance, and leaves without saying a word. The next day, we see the young man wake up still dizzy in his bed, but the lady missing. He slowly recuperates and realizes that there are things missing only to go check around the house, realize he has been robbed. We see the lady arrive at her boyfriend's home trying to surprise him with a successful loot, but the guy rejects her work as amateur and complains the loot is small. He accepts half-heartedly and later wants to have relations, and the girl refuses only to be taken by force. Her boyfriend is seemingly an unapologetically abusive man, and she is really rethinking her life. Days later, we find the thieving couple running away from pursuers who seem to be cops, and they are running for their lives. The lady is left behind, and the guy does not slow down. He in fact catches a biker and leaves without her to fend for herself. She luckily gets lucky and is able to escape only to run into the guy she robbed earlier and runs past him as they recognize each other. We see our guy having a drink with a friend at the local when the lady thief walks in and is looking for a mark. The two friends observe her work her mark, and when no one is looking, she spikes his drink, makes him drink the beer, and steals from him once he's knocked out. The guy follows the lady, and they have a conversation where he tells her he saw everything, but he will not report her, despite him too being her victim once before. He advises her to change her ways, but she leaves him talking to himself and walks away. However, she goes home and actually thinks about what the guy said and decides to change, and thus she decides to go to the guy's place, and in turn, a romantic affair starts between the two. The relationship blossoms and the two become lovebirds. However, her former boyfriend who had been forced into hiding has returned and has been trailing her only to find she decided to move on with the guy they had once robbed. And he walks away but with a resolve. He traces her when she is alone and they have a confrontation, and she complains how he left her for dead, but he shrugs it off as part of the job descriptions. He, however, tells her she belongs to him, and he's allowing her to go her new boyfriend as a loan, but he'll soon come to collect. He also assaults her once she tries to respond and leaves. On going home, after realizing she is in a trap, she tries to kill herself, and her new boyfriend finds her and rushes her to hospital. They have a one-on-one, and she admits her dilemma to him. On hearing this, her new boyfriend traces his hideout to make a deal that he leave her alone for good. They have a confrontation where the new boyfriend is informed in order to completely have the girl, he will have to do a job for him. And despite initial complaining, he agrees, and he's told he will be informed when the work will happen. He doesn't mention this to his girlfriend, whom has now left hospital and is recovering at home. The phone then rings with the assignment, and he has to make up an excuse to his girl in order that he can leave. He goes, finds the mark, and when opportunity presents itself, he spies the drink and steals the briefcase of the target as instructed. He then leaves the scene unnoticed. Unbeknown to him, he is being traced all this time by men, and they eventually pounce on him with machetes and attack him crudely, take the briefcase and run, all this while the old boyfriend is looking on pleased. Turns out he'd set him up to be killed. He waits until the girl finds him bleeding out in the streets and is mourning him alone with, satisfied with his revenge, and walks away. Days later at his house, we see he is an artist, and as he is relaxing making art, he is surprised at gunpoint by the girl. She has come for her vengeance too. As he tries to explain his case with his hands up, telling her the guy was just a distraction and he was helping her regain focus so they can go back to work, the girl does not utter a word but rather shoots him to death. She does not run, but rather just sits and waits for the police to arrest her. We return to the cell after understanding how she ended up in prison, and also learn that she was recording for the child she was forced to give up to serve her life imprisonment term, whom she hopes can learn from her mistakes and make better choices in life knowing her heritage and what befell the parents. We hope you have enjoyed today's recap, and until next time, cheers.